If you can't take care of yourself in old age, it can feel like the world is closing in on you. I've been around the sun many times, and I know this truth deep in my bones. When the strength you once had begins to fade and simple tasks become mountains, the idea of ending up in a nursing home often looms like a shadow. Society tends to push this as the only option when independence slips away. But listen to an old man who has walked this road. There are other ways, better ways to live with dignity, comfort, and a bit of joy. If you find yourself at that crossroads, don't rush into a nursing home. Let me share with you 5 alternatives that can keep you connected, cared for, and respected in your later years. The problem starts with the feeling of helplessness. When you realize that you can no longer do things on your own, it's as if a part of your spirit shrinks. You start worrying about being a burden to your family or about loneliness creeping in. These fears are very real, and they weigh heavy on your heart. Nursing homes, while necessary for some, often feel cold and impersonal. They can strip away your sense of identity and freedom, confining you to routines that don't fit your life. But there is hope. Alternatives exist that can preserve your independence and keep your life full of meaning. First, consider in-home care services. This option lets you stay right where you are, in the place you know best, surrounded by memories and familiar walls. Professional caregivers can come by daily or as often as you need, assisting with bathing, cooking, medication, and companionship. There is something powerful about the comfort of home, your favorite chair, the scent of your garden, the pictures on your walls. You don't have to give that up. The challenge with in-home care is trusting someone new in your private space. It takes time, but when you find the right person, they can become like family, helping you maintain your routines and independence without feeling like a patient. This option can be costly, but many communities have resources to help subsidize care for seniors who need it. If being at home alone scares you, another way is shared housing. This is when you live with others in a home designed for seniors who need some help but want to avoid institutional living. It's like having a small community right at your doorstep. You have your own room or small apartment, but meals and social activities are shared. It's a chance to build friendships and feel less isolated. I've seen folks thrive in these settings because they feel more like a family than a facility. Shared housing gives you a balance, privacy when you want it, and companionship when you need it. The emotional support you get here can be a lifesaver, and often it's more affordable than a nursing home. Another option that's been gaining attention is adult daycare programs. This is perfect if you have family or friends who can care for you at home part of the time, but need help during the day. Adult day centers provide a safe place to socialize, engage in activities, and receive medical supervision during daylight hours. Then you return home in the evening. This keeps you active, sharp, and connected without full-time institutionalization. You get to see other people your age, share stories, and keep your mind busy, and your family gets a break, which can reduce stress for everyone. It's a win-win that often goes overlooked. Technology also offers surprising possibilities. While it can't replace human touch, things like emergency response systems, medication reminders, and even virtual visits can increase your independence. Sensors and smart devices can monitor your health quietly and alert caregivers if something's wrong. You can stay connected with loved ones through video calls, no matter the distance. This isn't just about gadgets. It's about creating a safety net that lets you live alone longer with peace of mind. I've seen old friends benefit tremendously from these tools. They help you hold on to your freedom while staying protected. Finally, think about moving in with family if that's an option. This is the oldest form of care, rooted in love and tradition. Living with children or grandchildren can give you purpose and daily contact with people who care deeply for you. Yes, it comes with challenges. Privacy may be less, and family dynamics can be tricky. But when done right, it's one of the most nurturing alternatives. You share your wisdom, help with childcare or household chores as you can, and feel needed again. I know the pride and joy this brings. It's not just about care, it's about belonging. I say all this from a place of knowing the weight of old age. It's not just the body that tires, but the spirit. And losing control over your life can break that spirit if you let it. But choosing the right path can light a spark. You don't have to resign yourself to a nursing home if you don't want to. You deserve care that respects your history, your dreams, and your desire to remain yourself. The fear of being alone or helpless is real, but so is the fear of losing your freedom, your voice, and your dignity. These 5 alternatives can help you walk the years ahead with more grace and less fear. In-home care keeps you rooted in your world. Shared housing gives you community without confinement. Adult daycare offers connection and supervision without surrendering your home. Technology can be your guardian angel when family isn't nearby. And living with family can bring love back into every day. No path is perfect, and each comes with trade-offs. But the truth is, you still have choices, and making those choices wisely can turn what feels like an ending into a new chapter. If you're scared about the future, that's understandable. But remember, being old doesn't mean being forgotten or useless. It means being seasoned, experienced, and valuable. And you owe it to yourself to find the care that honors that. So if you can't take care of yourself in old age, pause before saying yes to a nursing home. Explore these alternatives. Talk with your loved ones. Find what fits your heart and your needs. The road may be bumpy, but you don't have to walk it alone or without hope. Your story isn't over yet. There's still a life to live, and plenty of ways to do it well. Now let's clear some common questions. What are the potential downsides or challenges of each alternative to nursing homes, and how can they be managed? When you reach a point in life where you can no longer take care of yourself as you once did, the road ahead feels uncertain and full of difficult decisions. I speak from experience and observation. There are options beyond nursing homes, but none are without their challenges. If you're considering alternatives, it's important to understand not only their benefits, but also the downsides, so you can prepare yourself and your loved ones. Let me walk you through the common alternatives and the potential hurdles they bring, along with how these can be managed with patience, honesty, and a little wisdom. Starting with in-home care services. Staying in your own home has a comforting appeal, no doubt about it. But inviting strangers into your personal space can feel unsettling. You might worry about privacy or whether the caregiver really understands your needs. Trust doesn't come overnight. Sometimes caregivers change frequently, which disrupts the bond and continuity of care. Another challenge is the cost. In-home care can be expensive, especially if you need help every day or around the clock. It's not always covered by insurance, and this can strain finances, causing stress for you and your family. To manage these challenges, it's crucial to take time to interview and get to know caregivers before they start. Building a relationship based on respect and clear communication can ease anxiety. Also, look into local programs or subsidies that might offset costs. Finally, having a trusted family member or friend involved in overseeing care helps catch problems early and keeps you feeling safe. Then there is shared housing, where seniors live together in a home designed for companionship and support. The idea of community sounds wonderful, and for many it is. But living with others means less privacy and sometimes conflicting personalities. You may not always get along with your housemates, and disagreements can affect your peace of mind. Shared housing also relies heavily on the management and quality of the home itself. If the staff isn't attentive or the environment isn't well maintained, it can quickly turn uncomfortable. This option may also require you to give up some independence, like setting your own schedule or meal preferences. To handle these issues, visit potential shared homes more than once. Try to spend time talking to current residents and staff. Check reviews and ask hard questions about how conflicts are resolved and what happens if someone's health worsens. Choosing a place where you feel genuinely welcomed and respected makes all the difference. Adult daycare programs offer a middle ground for seniors who still live at home but need social interaction and supervision during the day. They can be a lifeline for both seniors and their families. Still, there are challenges here too. Sometimes transportation to and from the center can be a problem, especially if family members are busy or the center doesn't provide it. For seniors with mobility issues or certain health conditions, the environment might not be fully accessible or suited to their needs. Another downside is that these programs only provide daytime support. If your health declines suddenly or you need help in the evenings and nights, adult daycare can't fill that gap. The solution is to plan carefully and be honest about the level of care required. If transportation is an issue, See if local agencies offer rides or coordinate with neighbors or friends. Before choosing a program, visit it during operating hours to observe how staff interact with seniors and whether activities engage and stimulate. Pair adult daycare with other forms of support at home to cover those non-daytime hours and keep your loved ones safe. Technology in elder care sounds promising and can be very helpful in maintaining independence. Devices that remind you to take medicine or alert someone if you fall bring peace of mind. But technology also has its limits and frustrations. Not all seniors are comfortable with gadgets or understand how to use them. Some may feel that relying on machines makes them more isolated rather than connected. Technical glitches, false alarms, or confusing interfaces can cause anxiety. Additionally, technology cannot replace the human touch and emotional connection that caregivers provide. To manage these issues, start slowly. Introduce one device at a time and have someone patient to teach and support. Choose user-friendly equipment designed specifically for seniors. Keep a backup plan in case technology fails, like having a neighbor or family member check in regularly. Most importantly, use technology as a tool to complement human care, not replace it. Living with family is a timeless option and often filled with love and support. But I won't sugarcoat it, it can be complicated. Families are not perfect, and mixing generations under one roof can bring tension. Privacy is hard to maintain, and caregiving can strain relationships. There might be disagreements over care decisions, household roles, and boundaries. Sometimes the elder feels like a burden, and family members may experience caregiver burnout. Managing these challenges requires open and honest communication. Everyone needs to express their feelings and expectations clearly. Setting boundaries about personal space and responsibilities helps prevent resentment. It's important for family caregivers to seek support groups or respite care to avoid exhaustion. And elders should be encouraged to remain involved in decisions and activities to feel valued and respected. When done with love and patience, living with family can be a rich experience, but it takes work from everyone involved. In truth, none of these alternatives is flawless. Each comes with trade-offs and adjustments. The key is to face these challenges with a realistic mindset and a willingness to adapt. Often, it's not just about the physical care, but about preserving dignity, choice, and a sense of belonging. Don't rush the decision or settle because of fear. Take time to weigh the pros and cons and keep talking with those you trust. I've seen many dear friends and family members navigate these waters, sometimes stumbling, but often finding a way to thrive. Challenges can be softened by preparation, honesty, and leaning on community. And don't forget that your voice matters. Your needs, your preferences, and your story should guide the path you take. So when you consider alternatives to nursing homes, remember that obstacles are part of every journey. But with patience and the right support, you can find a place or a way of living that honors who you are, keeps you safe, and lets you hold on to your independence for as long as possible. That, my friend, is the heart of aging well. How do cultural attitudes toward aging and elder care influence the decision to choose nursing homes versus other options? Aging. It is a journey that every soul must take. Yet how we walk that path depends so much on the culture that surrounds us. I've lived long enough to see how different societies treat their elders, and I can tell you this with certainty. Cultural attitudes shape everything when it comes to elder care and the choices we make about where and how to live in our twilight years. The decision to choose a nursing home or some other form of care is never just about health or finances. It is deeply tied to beliefs, values, and traditions that have been passed down through generations. Let me share what I have learned about how culture molds these decisions, sometimes in ways we don't even realize. In many Western societies, there is a strong emphasis on independence and individualism. From early on, people are encouraged to stand on their own feet, to carve out their own lives without relying too much on others. This attitude often continues into old age. There is a kind of pride in managing one's own affairs, and when that becomes difficult, nursing homes are seen as a practical solution. They offer professional care, safety, and relief for families who may be juggling many responsibilities. But this practicality sometimes comes at a cost. Elders may feel isolated, as the cultural narrative doesn't always prioritize extended family living together or shared caregiving. The nursing home becomes a default, a place where the elderly are cared for but often separated from their loved ones. It can feel like a quiet surrender of the role elders once held in the family and community. Contrast that with many Asian cultures, where filial piety is a cornerstone. Respect for one's parents and elders isn't just a suggestion, but a duty ingrained in daily life. It is expected that children will care for their aging parents in the family home, and placing a parent in a nursing home may be seen as neglectful or even shameful. The elderly in these cultures often remain integrated within the family's daily rhythm, offering wisdom and guidance while receiving care. This strong family bond can be a source of comfort and dignity. However, it also comes with challenges. The burden of care can fall heavily on younger family members, sometimes leading to exhaustion or financial strain. Yet the cultural pride in keeping elders close can outweigh those difficulties. Nursing homes, in many cases, are a last resort or a solution only when no other options remain. In Latin American and Mediterranean cultures, there is a similar reverence for family and community. The home is the center of life, and elders are often cared for by a network of relatives. Multi-generational households are common, and the idea of sending an elder away to a nursing home is sometimes met with resistance or sadness. Here too, culture paints elder care as a shared responsibility. Social gatherings often revolve around extended family, and elders play active roles whether in storytelling, childcare, or simply being present as anchors of tradition. But as economic pressures increase and younger generations move away for work, these traditions are changing. The decision to use nursing homes or alternative care options can become a painful negotiation between cultural values and modern realities. In contrast, some indigenous cultures view aging and elder care through a lens of community stewardship and spiritual connection. Elders are revered as keepers of knowledge, history, and spiritual guidance. Caring for them is a communal act, not confined to the nuclear family alone. Here, the concept of nursing homes as isolated institutions may clash deeply with the cultural ideal of aging surrounded by community and nature. When elders are separated from their lands or cultural practices, it can cause profound distress. The decision about elder care in these contexts is entwined with identity and belonging, making the choice far more complex than simply health or convenience. Even within one country or society, cultural attitudes can vary widely depending on upbringing, religion, socioeconomic status, and personal beliefs. Some families may embrace nursing homes as a way to ensure expert medical care, while others resist them fiercely, favoring home care or shared living arrangements. These choices are shaped by the stories told around the dinner table, the experiences of neighbors, and the values taught as children. I have seen how these cultural attitudes impact not just where elders live, but how they feel about themselves. An elder in a culture that honors them through family care often carries a sense of purpose and belonging that strengthens their spirit. Conversely, an elder who feels sidelined or placed in an unfamiliar institution without emotional support may experience loneliness, depression, and loss of identity. Culture colors the emotional landscape of aging profoundly. What's important to realize is that no culture's approach is perfect or without struggles. Western models of independence can lead to loneliness, while family-centered models can lead to caregiver burnout. The ideal elder care solution must respect cultural values while adapting to changing times and individual needs. This is why alternatives to nursing homes, such as in-home care, shared housing, or community programs, are gaining attention everywhere. They offer a middle ground that can align more closely with cultural expectations of family involvement and personal dignity. Managing these cultural influences means having open conversations with elders and families about their values and desires. It means understanding the emotional weight of the decision, not just the practicalities. When a family's culture places honor in caring for elders at home, finding support systems for caregivers can ease the burden. When independence is prized, creating community connections can prevent isolation. The decision should be rooted in respect for the elder's wishes and cultural identity. I remember a dear friend from an Asian background who struggled deeply when her aging mother needed constant care. The cultural expectation was clear: children cared for parents at home, but the physical and emotional demands were overwhelming. Through community support groups and in-home care services, she found a way to honor her culture while getting help. Her mother stayed in her familiar home, surrounded by family, but no longer was the care a solitary burden. This balance allowed dignity and relief to coexist. In another case, I met a man from a Western city who initially resisted moving into assisted living because of the stigma he felt around nursing homes. He feared losing independence and becoming invisible. But when he found a shared housing community designed for seniors who valued autonomy and companionship, he flourished. The cultural narrative around aging and care shifted for him when he realized that nursing homes weren't the only option. He found a community that respected his values and supported his needs. Culture is like the soil in which our lives take root. When it nourishes respect for elders and values their place in the family and society, aging can be a time of honor and peace. But when cultural attitudes isolate or diminish the elderly, it becomes a season of hardship. The choices about nursing homes versus alternatives are not made in a vacuum, but within this rich soil of beliefs and traditions. So if you or your loved ones face the question of elder care, look deeply at the cultural currents that guide you. Honor them, but also be willing to explore new ways that keep respect, dignity, and connection alive. Aging is inevitable, but how we live through it depends on the wisdom we carry and the love we share. The right choice is the one that feels like coming home, not just to a place, but to belonging. What advice would an elder with firsthand experience offer to those facing the difficult decision about long-term care? The question of long-term care. It is one that weighs heavily on the heart when the time comes to face it. I have lived through the crossing of that bridge myself, watching loved ones wrestle with the decision and even walking the path alongside them. If I could offer advice to anyone standing at that crossroads, I would speak plainly from experience, with an open heart and a steady hand. Because you see, this decision is not just about logistics or money, it's about dignity, it's about respect, it's about preserving the essence of who we are, even when our bodies begin to falter. First, I would say this: don't rush. The weight of this decision can feel crushing, and it's easy to want to make a choice quickly just to relieve the pressure. But I have seen too many make hasty decisions out of fear or guilt, only to regret them later. Take the time to breathe. Talk openly with your family. Talk with the person who needs care if possible. Their voice matters more than you might realize. Too often we assume what is best for them without listening to what they want. I cannot stress enough how important it is to include the elder in the conversation. It honors their autonomy and gives them a measure of control in a time when so much else feels uncertain. Next, be honest about the realities. We all want the best for our elders. We want to provide the care that keeps them safe, comfortable, and happy. But sometimes love alone is not enough. Caregiving is hard work. It can be exhausting and emotionally draining. If you are the caregiver, know your limits. There is no shame in admitting you cannot do it all. In fact, recognizing when you need help is one of the bravest and wisest steps you can take. Reach out for support, whether that means hiring professional care, asking other family members to share the load, or exploring community resources. Remember, taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's essential because you cannot pour from an empty cup. When considering options, be thorough and gather information. Visit nursing homes, talk to staff and residents, look into in-home care providers, adult day programs, and alternative living arrangements. No one solution fits all. Your situation is unique, and the best choice is the one that meets your needs while honoring your values. Ask hard questions. What is the quality of care? What is the staff-to-resident ratio? What activities and social opportunities exist? How are medical emergencies handled? These details matter deeply, and don't rely solely on marketing brochures. Trust your instincts and the stories of those who have firsthand experience. One piece of advice I would give is to focus on quality of life, not just quantity. It is tempting to think the best care is the one that offers the most medical interventions or the most supervision. But at the end of the day, what matters is how you or your loved one feel living in that environment. Do they feel respected and seen? Do they have opportunities to engage with others? Do they still have moments of joy and purpose? The heart of elder care is preserving the spirit, not just the body. If a place or a caregiver can nurture that, it will be worth the challenges it might bring. Also, don't underestimate the power of community. Loneliness is a heavy burden for many elders. It can lead to depression and a decline in health. When choosing long-term care, consider the social aspect. Does the setting encourage friendships and family visits? Are there community activities or clubs? Sometimes a small, close-knit environment where people genuinely care for one another can be better than a large institution with all the bells and whistles. Connection feeds the soul. Financial concerns are real and cannot be ignored. Care can be expensive, and navigating insurance, government programs, and personal finances can feel overwhelming. My advice is to seek help from professionals, financial advisors who specialize in elder care, social workers, or elder law attorneys. They can guide you through the maze and help you avoid costly mistakes. Planning ahead is key. The sooner you start exploring your options and understanding the costs, the less stress you will face down the line. Remember that sometimes spending a bit more for better care or peace of mind is a worthwhile investment. Another lesson I learned is that flexibility and adaptability are vital. What works today may not work tomorrow. Health changes, circumstances shift, and sometimes a care plan must evolve. Don't be afraid to reevaluate and make changes if needed. Holding too tightly to one idea of what care should look like can cause frustration and missed opportunities. Be open to trying new solutions and asking for second opinions. The best long-term care is often a journey, not a destination. For those who worry about the stigma attached to nursing homes or other care facilities, know this: no place is perfect. Every option has its flaws. What matters most is finding a place where the elder is treated with kindness and respect. I have witnessed incredible kindness in nursing homes as well as unfortunate neglect. The difference is often in the people, staff, administrators, and the family's involvement. Stay involved. Visit often if you can. Advocate for your loved one. Your presence and voice are powerful. If you are the elder facing this decision yourself, my heart goes out to you. It can be terrifying to think about losing independence or moving away from the home you have known for years, but know that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to your strength and wisdom. You have earned the right to be cared for with dignity. Speak up about what you need and want. Your feelings and preferences deserve to be heard and honored. Finally, don't forget the power of love and compassion. Long-term care decisions are deeply emotional. There will be moments of doubt, fear, and even anger. That is normal. Allow space for these feelings, both for yourself and your family. Hold on to the love that binds you because it is the light that will guide you through. Care is not just about tasks or routines. It is about human connection, kindness, and respect. In my years, I have learned that while we cannot control every aspect of aging and care, we can control how we face these challenges with courage, openness, and heart. Take your time, listen carefully, ask questions, and lean on those you trust. Whether the decision is to stay at home with help, move into a shared community, or enter a nursing home, make it a decision that honors the life lived and the person you are. The road is not easy, but it can be filled with grace. I hope these words bring you some comfort and clarity as you navigate this difficult journey. Remember, you are not alone. Many have walked this path before you, and many will walk it after. Let your choice be one made with wisdom, love, and respect for yourself and those who walk beside you. If you liked today's discussion, don't forget to like the video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated with every video we release. And yes, don't forget to share your experiences and thoughts in the comments. Every comment is special to us. Your feedback helps us improve further. We'll continue to meet you in every new video on this channel. So until next time, take care.